Welcome to episode 2 of our interview with John DeSouza, the X-Man himself. Now, in our original video, we asked him questions from viewers like you. We asked him about general UFO and alien projects and what he may have known as his time as the X-Man inside the FBI. Now, some of our viewers were hoping that we dug a little bit deeper, and just to assure you, we definitely did. And we even asked questions of John that we nicknamed the Probe, simply because we wanted to dig deeper. We wanted to know what he knew, how he was funded, who he is working for or with or alongside. And we wanted to understand this because one of the things we've discovered while doing Shed Show Talk is that the community that is seeking truth about UFOs, aliens, and the paranormal activity around the world, that community is not yet unified. There are still lines being crossed between different power groups, and currently, with To the Stars Academy, some of that power struggle is really coming to the surface. And rather than fighting against that kind of division, one of the things we want to do is be a unifier by creating a conversation between each of the groups with their knowledge, their skill, their backgrounds, their power, and their influence. This seems like something we want to do here at Shed Show Talk, and we want you to be a part of it. In order to become a part of it, please hit the subscription button, the notification bell, and join the comment section. We do have some serious questions. We're going to call this section the Probe.
I'm ready.
My question starts with following the money. Have you ever received money from another organization such as To the Stars Academy, MUFON, the CIA, Robert Bigelow, or have you received any endorsements that are behind the scenes?
I am completely independent, unbiased. I have received no money from any of those sources. I never have. And if I were to tell you how many times people have given me information about well-known people, celebrities in the paranormal and ufology who got money from CIA contractors or from other groups, you would be amazed. And I tell people, don't give me that information. I don't want it. I don't want to know about, because basically I think anyone who has been in the paranormal and who has been in ufology for a long period of time have taken money from the sources like the ones that you just said. I think it's just a matter of time. It's the paranormal is so important for the elite powers in control to control, for the global powers to control that, and they have unlimited money because they have the central banks. And so they have unlimited resources. So spreading some around in the paranormal community is just so easy for them. And payments are taken by people all the time. So yeah, that is a very good question. One that will almost always be answered yes, almost by anyone in the community. In that community, because it's just so rampant for them to be co-opted by these elite powers in control that run around.
I want to know why you're alive, why you are functioning. If you haven't been bought, if you have not been corrupted, why are you still free to function?
Well, for one thing, I'm not a whistleblower. I'm not exposing some kind of political corruption or anything like that. That's not what I do. All I do is bring truth to bear, bring truth forward that people should be privy to already, but they're not. That's all I do. So I don't classify, and I really don't think it's worth it for whistleblowers, real whistleblowers that step forward. A lot of times, I don't think it's really worth it for them to do what they do, because their lives get ruined and destroyed, and they get all kinds of global institutions that go after them and destroy, and then takes them away from their chance to be truth tellers on a larger scale. So they go after a little piece of corruption somewhere. and then they expend themselves on going after that. And maybe they help resolve it, maybe they don't. But ultimately, they get destroyed. They get destroyed for breaking security agreements, breaking secrecy oaths, and they get destroyed. And then they never get to be a truth teller on a larger scale. I mean, look at David Icke. David Icke was a reporter on BBC Sports television. And if he had gone after some minor corruption at BBC channel, then he would have had all kinds of global forces destroy him, and he would have never had the opportunity to be a truth sayer on a larger scale.
Any other names of whistleblowers that have been destroyed in the manner you're speaking of?
Many of them. I would not name them, but many of them that I've known of, and that people don't know what they really go through, because they never reveal what they really go through on a personal, private level. But yeah, I would not tell them.
Why are you not the most powerful voice in the paranormal investigation field?
Well, Luis Elizondo and his group are amplified, and they are part of this giant psychological operation that has been going on for many, many years, that is from the elite powers in control, the global powers, that always need some kind of a front group to try to take back control of ufology and the paranormal. And that's what they're doing. So Elizondo is going to be amplified by mainstream media and by all of their minions, and that's just going to keep on going. It looks like it's falling apart now because the group has been discredited so badly by this main picture that they used in their initial conference in October, when they were doing that PSYOP conference to an empty auditorium with no one there, and they were at a microphone pretending there were people in the audience, and they all came forward. The To the Stars Academy group, yeah, and now it's been discovered that one of the pictures that they used at that conference, that initial conference, is nothing more than a Mylar silver balloon that they were saying was a cigar-shaped UFO that was proven. And this is an operation that it's breathtaking in the chutzpah that they are putting forward. CIA guys from the Department of Defense, guys from the Secretary of Defense's office, people, high officials from the CIA. They are putting forward people who have spent their entire lives not helping the public, the American public, to get information or disclosure or be advised about anything, from organizations that are based on deception. And that is the main job that they do. And yet there they are at To the Stars Academy, pretending that they're working to disclose something to the American people. It's absolutely insane.
Are you saying that To the Stars Academy is a front for the global cabal?
I wouldn't say a front. I would say they are one instrument among many, many instruments that are used by the global cabal to take back control of the entire ufology phenomenon. And that's what they're doing right now.
So in other words, are you saying that Luis Elizondo is essentially a confidence man or a front man for the cabal's ambitions to control the narrative over the paranormal and ufology?
I would say that Elizondo probably believes very sincerely in what he does. So that's why you can't say that he's a confidence man. Very much like Tom DeLonge also sincerely believes in this area in ufology. He believes all this stuff is true, and he is sincere. Elizondo probably is too. He probably believes in ufology and in the truth of ufology and in bringing all this stuff through. However, even if they're not confidence men, they can be used very easily and very much with their skill set and with what they have done. And they can be used by the global cabal, sure, to put forward what the global cabal wants to accomplish in taking back control of ufology.
One thing that they did, in my mind, when all of this came out, it unveiled a secret program. Well, I don't even think it was classified as secret, but it absolutely was a secret program within the Pentagon of research that had been being done over a period of time in ufology. And people say that that was for years. For years, we've been saying that the government have researched into this, and for years they said they haven't. And they've called it a conspiracy theory. And I think what people have actually missed with that part is that this has blown wide open that conspiracy theory. And it's true. We're all like, oh my God, they're spending $12 million on UFOs, on research, and so on and so forth. Everybody's missed the point that this was a conspiracy theory moments before. And now that's been blown wide open. Our governments are researching into this. No doubt. You know it, I know it, we all know it. And everybody's missed that essential part of this. Conspiracy theory, not only proven, but admitted.
Absolutely.
John, are you a clear hearer?
Yes, I am. A clear hearer is basically just a person who receives a clear voice of authority that seeks the person's benefit, safety, and increase. That's what a clear hearer is. And my latest book is just called Clear Hearers, and it's the story of an investigation that started for me as a child. That I continued throughout my adult life. It was one of the things that made me want to become an FBI agent. And it was basically an investigation in my family, with all the instances that happened in my family, into what was the source of this great voice that would come to us again and again to help us, sometimes even to save our lives. And so that's the genesis of the Clear Hearers.
So you have a generational link to a voice of authority. Can you expand on that, please?
Yeah, it was something that my mother also experienced. My mother was a very powerful psychic. She also experienced the great voice, which is something that is very different from voice hearers. Voice hearers are just people who get voices that could be muttering, confusing, annoying, mental health issues. But clear hearers is very different. It's something where you get a very short, clear phrase. It tells you something very specific, and that is very insistent and clear. And very often you find that one phrase will make a huge difference in your life at a moment of crisis. And that is what I have experienced throughout my life. And so when I wrote The Clear Hearers, I also studied it in history, see all the historical figures that have had similar experiences and how it helped them as well.
That's a good question. Are you a psychic detective?
No, I am not. Despite the fact that I am a clear hearer, my detective, investigative skills are just right on the ground. I certainly would always welcome working with psychics who can peer directly into the other side of things, the Akashic field where every secret is hidden and every deed is exposed. I would always welcome being able to work with them, and I'm definitely open to that. But I myself would not say that I am in that category.
So have you heard any clear hearing for Shed Show Talk or for the people who are watching this episode?
The prompting that I got is that Shed Show Talk is awesome, and that you guys are delightful. You really are. And it's been a great pleasure to be with you and watch you guys work. Awesome stuff.
And it's been a pleasure to have you with us. And will you come back to us, John?
Oh, I would love to. Absolutely.
Thank you for joining myself, Beth, and Paul at Shed Show Talk. We welcome you to hit the subscription button and the notification bell. In order to join the conversation, this community is about talking with one another in respect about these very deep topics that I know impact you. That's why you're here. So we want to invite you into the channel, and you might be fortunate enough to have John reply to one of your comments.
Thank you, Beth and Paul. You guys are awesome.